Hey folks, Matt from Weight Health Synergy back with another recipe for you. It's a raw food recipe for the Tim Ferriss 4-Hour Body Slow Carb Diet. This is for pickled or fermented celery. It's really easy to make, and celery's great on the Tim Ferriss slow carb diet. You're not going to have any problem with it interrupting the diet. It's basically you can eat as much vegetables, and celery has so little calories in it. They say it basically takes more calories to chew it than you get out of it. So anyways, this is a tasty recipe. Pickled fermented whole raw foods are very, very good for you. They have a lot of the probiotics in them and things like that. It's very good for you. They say that the Romans were able to conquer the world and form the Roman Empire because of sauerkraut. So that was pickled cabbage. And so basically it's really easy. You can see here I'm just chopping the celery stalks up into their appropriate size for me to put them into my Cuisinart food processor. This is the standard 7-cup Kitchen Pro. It's a great little food processor. I've got the slicing blade in here, so basically you're taking the celery and you're slicing it into thin pieces, and so that's going to go into our pickling jars. So basically I take the whole stalk of celery and chop them into the appropriate sizes to go through the food processor, run them through with the slicing blade, and then once that's done, we're going to put them into our pickling jars, and then I'm going to show you how to mix up the pickling solution. Basically, it's just 2 teaspoons of sea salt, natural sea salt, non-iodized, and a little bit of whey. You can actually do it without the salt and without the whey, but it tends to take a little longer, and sometimes without the salt and the whey, it cannot ferment, cannot pickle properly. So this is the recipe I use. So you're going to end up needing 2 teaspoons of sea salt for this one, and you're going to need a little bit of whey. You can increase it to 3 teaspoons of sea salt and then skip the whey. For whey, what I use is I use Astro Balkan-style yogurt, and I just pour off some of the runoff on it. That is basically same as having whey. It's got the probiotic. You can use it as a starter for yogurt, but it's great as a starter for pickling vegetables. So here you'll see I'm getting 2 mason jars ready in order to pickle the celery. And this is 2 1-liter mason jars. These are the regular mouth mason jars. I've actually started using the wide mouth. They're really nice. And then that's just your standard mason jar, your canning funnel there. And I'm just going to fill each of the 1-liter mason jars with the sliced celery. And so I'm just going to take those there and fill the jars with the celery until they're full. You basically want them evenly full. This was one full bunch of celery, so very economical to make. You know, you can usually get celery on sale for somewhere around $1 in the winter. Sometimes it's $1.50 or $2, but still pretty cheap. You get 2 full liter jars of pickled celery out of this, and they're great with crunchy sunflower seeds. That recipe's on the site here as well, or they're great by themselves. The great thing about pickled vegetables is you can put servings of them on your plate and just eat them without having to cook or do anything like that. And all of their enzymes are preserved in there because you haven't cooked them, you haven't heated them, and then you also get the benefit of the probiotics. You get the fermented benefits of the food. So basically, finishing up here with filling these jars, you want to get them as full as possible, and then you can tamp down the celery a little bit just to get it nice and compressed in there. And then basically what I'm going to do next, you'll see, is I'm going to take my Vitamix blender jug, and I'm going to put my 2 teaspoons of sea salt in there and put in about a tablespoon or 2 of the whey, the runoff from my yogurt, and then I'm going to blend that up with a couple cups of water just to get my pickling solution going. So I'm getting the tamper right now. Actually, I'm just using the tamper from my Vitamix just to push down the celery in the canning jars, because you want it good and compacted in there. Helps with the pickling. And then you want to mix up your pickling solution. And so that's where you don't need to use the blender, but it's a helpful tip I picked up from somewhere. I think it was Sally Fallon had said that. And so basically what I do is I take the blender jug and I put in my 2 teaspoons of sea salt. So I'm going to do that now. You'll see I've got the Vitamix jug there. That's my smaller jug, the 4-cup jug. I find that really handy for personal servings and stuff when I'm not doing a full batch of something for the whole family. And so this is the smaller jug. That's the 4-cup jug. And I'm just putting some water in there right now. Basically, you can put a cup or two. You're probably going to need 2 to 3 cups for this 1 liter, for the 2 1-liter jars. And I think I've put just over 2 cups in there, it looks like. So I'm putting in my sea salt right now. So this is natural sea salt. It's non-iodized, so it's the good stuff. And you're going to want to put about 2 teaspoons in, 2 liberal teaspoons. And that's going to help with the pickling, make sure it ferments properly and doesn't go skunky, as it were. And so I put in my 2 teaspoons of sea salt right there. And then we're going to put in about a tablespoon or 2 of whey, which is what I'm using, is the runoff from my Balkan style yogurt. So you want to use, this is Astro Balkan style yogurt, and I know it's an active culture. I use it to make other cultures, and so basically you want to use any yogurt that you know is an active culture that you can use for a starter. And you don't actually need the yogurt. I'm just pouring off the water that accumulates on there as the yogurt sits in the fridge. So I've put in about probably about 2 tablespoons. A tablespoon's enough. You just want a little bit in there to act as a starter to get the fermenting process going properly. So the salt and the whey do that for you. Just give it a quick buzz on the Vitamix. Run it on there, and just to get it all mixed up, so it's all mixed and even to put into the canning jars. So I just run it for 30 seconds to a minute there, whatever you think, till it's good and mixed up. And then you want to take your 2 1-liter canning jars full of your celery that you've tamped down there, and you just want to distribute that evenly to the 2 jars. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill it up, put it half and half, and then once we've got that mixture evenly split between the 2 jars, we'll top it up with, if we need some top up, with water. So it should be pretty close. But we're probably going to need a little bit of water just to top it up. So that's me going over there to get some more RO water. And basically you want to top it up so you're about an inch below the top of the 1-liter canning jars. And because you want the celery totally covered. And you only want about an inch of airspace. That's about appropriate for pickling, for fermenting foods there. So that's what I'm doing right now, just topping it up there. And then once you're done that, you take your canning jar lids and you put them on the top, screw them down nice and tight. And these will take about 3 days. 3 to 4 days, depends on your room temperature, but I find 3 days does it. And you'll see they start to lose the green and it starts to get that pickled look. They'll go to almost a yellowy tan color, and that you can see that the pickling's working there. And so about 3 days they're ready to eat. I'm just giving them an inversion and rolling them a little bit just to get the mixture mixed up since I added the water. And then I'm just giving them a little shake there once they're right side up again, just to make sure all the celery has settled back down and that the water, the solution there that we've made up, is covering the celery totally so that everything pickles and marinates properly, so you're not getting... And here what we have is it's a good idea to write down the date and time for when you did this. So just once you start doing a lot of this, if you do... you want to keep track of when it was done so you know when it's ready. So I just take a piece of paper, write down the date and the time, and then I just cut it out. I just make it just a little, 1 inch by 1 inch or 2 inch, something small enough that it fits on the jar. And I'm just putting them on the top of the lids there and just grabbing a piece of tape to tape them down. And here you can see one that is already done. This is a previous one I made, and you can see I've written the date and the time of when I did it, and there you can see that's the celery, and it takes on that different look. It's lost that bright green look, and it's now pickled or fermented, so it's has that nice fermented food taste to it. It's really tasty, good to eat, as I said, with the crunchy sunflower seeds, and very, very healthy for you. So there you go, folks. That is how to make pickled fermented celery. And thanks for tuning in to Weight Health Synergy. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with some more weight loss tips for you, some more health information, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on in the world of health and weight loss. Thanks a lot. Bye now.